Hey, welcome to the Relentless Positivity Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Martin, and I got something a little bit different. Got a solo episode today. So today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite movies, The Pursuit of Happyness. And it's spelled wrong for a reason. If you've ever seen that title, you have to watch the movie to figure out why. But it's just about one of the most powerful true stories of perseverance, positivity, and sheer determination from this guy named Chris Gardner. And he's a man he overcomes homelessness, immense personal struggles, and he's just trying to provide a better life for his son. And he's trying to become a stockbroker. And he's, like I said, he goes through this homelessness and hardships and overwhelming odds, but he never gives up on his dreams. And I got 7 takeaways from that movie, or it's a book as well. So if you've never seen the movie, it stars Will Smith, who crushes it, by the way. You got to see that. It's very good. And the book is equally good. But there's 7 lessons and how we can apply them to our lives. So the first one is never give up. That's pretty obvious about that one. But persistence is the key to long-term success in whatever you're doing. So no matter how many setbacks you encounter, continue to push forward is essential if you want to be successful. So how do you apply that to your lives? I want to also give these takeaways and how we can apply them to our lives, and also some examples as well. So first one, break your big goals into small, achievable steps. It makes it feel so much more palatable. So when you face obstacles, remind yourself that setbacks are just temporary. Celebrate small victories. That is so huge. We all want to celebrate the big stuff, but it's important to celebrate the small stuff. You get more of what you celebrate. So it's just an easy way to avoid discouragement and encourage yourself to keep on going and stay motivated. So example, if you're starting a new business or you're trying to achieve a personal goal, something like that, expect challenges. It's going to happen. Don't expect perfection. So when you hit a roadblock, take the time to reassess your plan, but don't abandon your goal. Look for alternative routes to get there because there's always a way. Okay. Number 2, believe in yourself. Self-confidence is crucial for overcoming adversity. It all starts with that self-belief. So believing your ability to succeed can push you through difficult times when external validation is lacking. When those times when the world is not going your way, you need that self-belief to keep going. So how can you apply that? So positive self-talk. I know we all remember Stuart Smalley back in the day. You're good enough, you're smart enough, all that kind of, you'd have to be that cheesy level, but you got to feed yourself these good information that you can keep going. You got to help yourself out on that. So, and then focus on your strengths too. Don't talk bad about all your weaknesses. We all have those, but no need to focus on those things. Focus on your strengths. What are you good at? What's going right in your life? So, and you want to surround yourself with supportive people who believe in your potential. If you all are surrounded by nothing but naysayers, it's a good way to crush your goal right there. So, and then keep a record of past achievements. Remind yourself of what you're capable of. So some examples of that. If you're applying for a new job, remind yourself of your qualifications, the unique value that you bring to the table. Why are you different? Why are you special? What do you bring to the table? Even if the job seems overly competitive, don't disqualify yourself. Right? That's their job. Don't do it to yourself. So you maintain that self-belief. Even if rejections come along the way, it's going to happen. Right? So I remember my son B was struggling. He's a good basketball player, right? He's a Division I athlete right now, but he's a sophomore and he was struggling with kind of his identity on the court. And so I put together a highlight reel. He's all these plays he's making on the court, making all these threes, all these different, he's doing everything on playing defense. And I just told him, hey, remember who you are. He watched that and then he came out the next and it was on from there. Right. But sometimes you forget who you are, what you're capable of. And I was working with a lot of moms in my real world life. And I remind them, hey, you carried a human in your body for 9 months. You can do anything, right? So sometimes you just got to remember all these hard times you go through back through your highlight reel. What have you been overcoming in the past? What have you done? You've got a good resume of overcoming. I guarantee it if you look for it. So number 3, hard work is undefeated. That's one of my tenets in life, and it's in this movie and this book as well. So consistent effort and dedication to your craft will lead to long-term rewards. Hard work compounds over time too. It adds on top of each other. So kind of like building bricks, put those bricks on top of each other. One of my guests recently on the podcast, Ed Doherty, talked about that when he was a younger man, that's what made him so successful, because he knew when he was doing the things that no one else wanted to do, he was building a successful life brick by brick. And hard work is undefeated. Even if the results aren't visible yet, you got to keep building. So how do you apply that? Develop a routine that emphasizes consistent effort. Even if you're not seeing the results yet, be about putting in that work. So set daily or weekly goals that challenge you, but they're also attainable. I like to look at it as Goldilocks goal setting. Not too hard, not too easy, just right. Kind of find those that are going to stretch you a little bit, but not crush you. So football coach Bill Walsh back in the day, you said the scoreboard will take care of itself. You focus on doing your task and your work as hard as you can, as great as you can, and the scoreboard will take care of itself. Some examples for that. If you're learning a new skill or trying to improve your fitness, put specific times of the week or that you're going to practice it. Don't leave it up to chance. Schedule it just like you would an important meeting or anything like that. Put it on your calendar and then stay disciplined. Even when progress feels slow, keep putting in the work because results often come from that sustained effort over time. Hang in there. Number 4, stay positive in adversity. Optimism fuels perseverance. Finding the silver lining, even in tough situations, help you stay motivated, focused on solutions rather than just your problems. Because guess what? When you focus on your problems, they grow. When you focus on solutions, you see more of them. It's just the way it works. And that does not mean you're ignoring all the bad stuff. That's not what this is about. It's just you're going to acknowledge them, the bad stuff, game plan around them, and then JKM. Just keep moving. Right? Don't get hung up on all the bad stuff. Figure out how you can go forward and then go forward. And how do you apply that? In moments of adversity, actively search for lessons or opportunities. Never take a loss without a lesson attached to it. You want to learn from these things. So that's those things. If you're going to take a loss, at least get some away out of it, right? And then make sure you're practicing gratitude. I guarantee you have a lot to be thankful for in your life if you will focus on it and you start practicing gratitude. Look up what you can get out of practicing gratitude. Not my opinion. These are medical studies. Check them out. All right. Gratitude is amazing. Even when things aren't going your way, find some things that are going your way. An example, if you lose your job, instead of focus on the loss, like I said, you acknowledge it, got to game plan it. We got to make money, got to do something out there. But hey, this might be an opportunity to go for new career options, learn a new skill, or pivot to something even more fulfilling or even more money or things like that. My friend JT, he went through that. So his son broke his leg. He had a horrific leg break. He couldn't even go to school. So JT at the time had this job where he could work from home. And then the moment JT's son could go back to school, he lost that job. He's like, oh no, this looks bad. What's going on? But he got another job. And guess what? He's making more money at that job, right? It didn't look good, but now he's making more money. And he was in that job for the time it was supposed to be when he could take care of his son. It's amazing how things work out when you focus on solutions, not just the problems. All right, number 5, it's all about relationships. I don't care what you're in or what you're doing. It's all about the relationships. You can provide those emotional support and motivation. They can maintaining close bonds with friends, family, mentors, help you stay grounded during these tough times. So how can you apply it? You need to invest time and effort into nurturing relationships, especially during these hard times, those stressful times. Lean on trusted loved ones when needed and also offer support when others are in need. The main thing is be intentional. It's not going to happen naturally. You got to be intentional with these. So when you're managing those work-life stresses, take time to connect with your family and friends and people that have gone through what you're going through, that lift you up and they'll help you out. Share your challenge with them and be open to receiving their advice or comfort. Be open to that. We need help. Hey, life is a team sport. We need each other. Number 6, opportunities come from challenges. Often difficult situations lead to new opportunities for personal growth. So hard times can force you to develop new skills, make necessary changes, or shift your focus in a more productive direction. Sometimes if we don't have to change, we won't change, and we will just stay where we are. For some people, that's okay. For a lot of us, we could do so much more. But sometimes we need someone to kick us out of the nest and make us go be great. That just happens. How can you apply it? When you're facing a challenge, look for ways to pivot or develop new strategies. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can this help me grow? Like I said, the problems will always be there. I guarantee you. But what can we learn from? Where can we go from here? How can we grow? So an example, if you have a business and it's struggling, consider an opportunity to reevaluate your words, what I'm trying to do. Reevaluate your strategies. Maybe this is a time to not do the things you've always done. This got you here, but it won't get you there. What's next? So maybe there's a new market to explore, a new way to innovate your product or service you haven't thought of because you haven't have to, right? If you don't have to, you probably won't. So at number 7, dream big, take risk. Too many of us are playing too small. And it's happened to me. It happens to me a lot. We're playing too small. We're meant for great things. You got to dream big though. You got to jump out, whether you've got that parachute or not sometimes. So, big goals, they often require bold actions. Be willing to take calculated risks that can open doors or opportunities that you didn't even know were out there. It's crazy what can happen. So how do you apply that? So set ambitious goals and create a realistic plan to achieve them. Those two go together. Don't just go out there and think you're going to have these goals without a plan. So, and don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Everything you want is on the other side of your comfort zone. We all want to stay in this little comfortable box, but hey, that's not where we're meant to stand. So make calculated decisions, but never let fear drive your decisions. Example, if you've always dreamed of starting your own business, create a business plan, research the market, and take the leap. You might not have all the answers, but stepping into the unknown can lead to success. That's a big lesson I learned when I started my business. I knew what I wanted to do for a year, and I just went back and forth trying to make sure everything's perfect. I need to do this, I need to do that, correcting things and going this. And I lost a year of productivity, probably because I was scared to get started, right? And then I get started. Now I live by the ready, shoot, aim philosophy, right? I'm going to get out there. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to correct it as I go because it's never going to be perfect, ever. I've tried a lot of things. It's never been perfect. I've had some things that are pretty good, and then you make them better. I've had some kind of terrible things, and I improved them from there. And then some things you started, and you got to scrap them. But you're never going to know until you start. So what are you waiting on? Just go start. And then you can fix it as you go. Don't go in there, like I said, without a plan and all these big things. You just have a goal. You need a plan. You need all that stuff, all the market strategies and planning and all that stuff. But don't get hung up in that. All right? Ready, shoot, aim. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope you got something out of these takeaways. My little bit of rambling right here, but that's all right. So if you haven't seen the movie or read the book, I highly recommend those. They're very good. And thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week on the Relentless Positivity Podcast.